Someone wrote in and said, I have a problem. My partner, anytime I ask them for something, says no, almost always says no because he feels trapped. He's much more likely to say no if I ask for something, but if it's his idea, he's often really glad to do the very same things he says no to another time. What can I do?
Okay. Cathy from TheIntimacyDojo.com.
Reid from ReidAboutSex.com.
Okay, so we're shooting this video again because we had the tea kettle on and it got super noisy. And I want to be more succinct with this advice. Yeah. So almost always says no. So they do say yes to things. Mm-hmm. They feel trapped, the comment says.
Yep.
Right? So do you talk about this? Have they reported that they feel trapped?
Or is this your interpretation?
Yeah, because often we don't actually know what's going on. And I often don't actually know what's going on with myself. So again, like this is where for me, trying to understand people is really tricky because most people don't even understand themselves. So you're kind of fighting this losing battle.
Yeah.
And most people try to understand people so that they can calibrate and figure out how to get what they want. This is the whole basis for why I'm like, build the relationship muscles to talk about this stuff and then do the work on yourself to be super self-aware about, what your needs are, what your blocks are, your fears, so that you can speak up and start asking for what you want. Third piece, honor when people say no, because we've all gone through those situations where family members said yes to something. Now we're on a family outing. They don't want to be there. And it's like horrible. So anytime somebody says no, they've spared you that burden.
We have a bunch of videos on disappointment, handling disappointment, if you want to check those out. It might be good if you can talk to your partner about it and say, hey, is there a better way for me to ask? It seems like when I ask you directly that you sometimes feel trapped. Is it better if I leave a post-it note? I'd like to be able to be self-expressed and share ideas and help create in our relationship. And I notice you seem to almost always say no when I ask you directly. How can I ask you in a way that might land on you better or be more, you might consider it more?
Yeah. The last video talked about like writing things that you want to do together on pieces of paper and then putting in a bowl, and then you draw stuff out of the bowl until you both figure out something that you want to do together. I don't know. The flags for me are, it's just tricky because if you haven't talked to them and they don't actually identify with feeling trapped, it's just weird. A lot of people say no for a lot of different reasons. If you're actually not getting the things that you want in the relationship that you need, then have a conversation about that. I just think asking people to try to do their self-work so that they don't feel trapped is already based on so many assumptions that may not actually be true for them.
And it's really important that both people in a relationship feel self-expressed and are able to ask, like create in the relationship. So feeling like you can never ask because it's almost always going to be an immediate no. I get the opposite of what you asked for. I grew up in a family where it was really people hinted and hoped, and that was not empowering and not fun. So it is really important to be in a relationship where you can ask for things and sometimes get your needs met.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it's not a good relationship to be in.
And the other piece is if you're not getting your needs met, where else can you get those needs met? Again, monogamous relationships and things, it can be a little bit tricky. If you want to have kids and they don't, it's a little tricky. But lots tricky maybe. But it's like it's an adult conversation about, hey, here are things. I want to go to the water park. Like we'll take something innocuous. But I want to go to the water park. Would you like to go to the water park? No. All right, I'm going to the water park. And I get where you're like, oh my God, but like every time I ask, you always say no. Well, if that's actually true.
Yeah, it's a good idea to jot it down, start keeping track of if you think this is a trend. Because we do tend to notice disappointments.
Then my advice, and this is not going to apply all to like shy and introverted people necessarily, is, well, then go to the water park. Go have so much fun in your life. Surround yourself with people who love water parks that, either you're getting your needs met or your partner becomes envious that you're having so much fun. And then, and then if they really need to suggest it for whatever reason, then be like, then plant the seeds. Just do it transparent. Do it transparently. I don't have the solution for this, but like, if your needs are not getting met, why is this complicated?
you can love somebody who may feel trapped or feel resistant to suggestions.
Okay, great. Then you're in love with somebody who feels resistant to suggestions. Then have the conversation about that you suggested, like how can we do this in a way that doesn't create resistance?
Yeah. I'd love to know what you think. Have you been in this situation? And if so, what have you done? Leave comments below. Thanks for watching. If you'd like to subscribe to my social media, it's right there. And please subscribe to this channel there. If you'd like to see more goofy Reid and Cathy, there's more videos there.
See them. Why are they there?